Alright guys, here's my Honda 4118. Here you can see the hood. Hood's in pretty good shape. The story on this thing, I bought it not running. It did not have a starter on it. So I got a starter put on it. It's got two new coils because the mice got in there and chewed things all up. So I've never been able to get this thing to run how it should. It's like, I don't like to give up on things, and this one is like, kind of got me stumped. So I'm gonna show you what it runs like. It's probably sat for the last year. I don't think it's the gas because I squirted fuel with a fuel bottle right into the carb bowl to the filler, and it ran the same way. So I'm going to kind of show you here how it runs. It doesn't run good. It runs, but not that good. So let's see. Things I didn't try, the pump, but it pumps enough fuel. I thought maybe it was pumping too much. But I just took the carb off the other day and checked the float. It holds 7 psi. I went through all of the ports again. It's got a fixed jet that is got a limiter on it, and you actually can take the limiter off. I think it's got like an epoxy. I tried heating it up, but it actually broke on me, so I ordered one. But I got the jet back in. Let me check the oil once more. I did cut with it though. Check the oil since it's been sitting here. Make sure it's good. Yeah, it's actually a little bit more higher than it should be. I have stuff for an oil change for it, but I've been waiting to get it running good. It's probably been sitting for at least a year, and I have not been able to figure it out. It's got 2 new spark plugs in. As I said, the coils are new, so the caps and all that is new. But what I didn't check is the timing. And the timing on the small engines are not nearly as adjustable, or can be off as much, because your flywheel key can either shear or move, you know, or shift, and that would get it off a little bit. Or it'd have to be internal, or you know, if your valves are not adjusted correctly. It's not like a tractor or something like that where you have your flywheel can be off, your spark plug wires can be off, your distributor can be turned and be off, and so many different things that can be off. So I'm gonna show you what I got here, how it runs, and how it runs like crap, and then we're gonna work on it together and see if we can figure it out. Otherwise, it's in good shape. I mean, there's not much play in the steering. And I have a video on this one. It's the same as the John Deere LX series. So like the 188, 178. It's actually made in Horicon, Wisconsin. This doesn't show it on there, but if you check that video out, it shows how these are the same models. Same tank location and design, same parking brake. This is the same. This I think is the same. But Honda came out with this GXV series of engines. They have a 4118 and a 4120. 4120 is a GXV 620. And that'd be 18 horse, and the 20 is 20 horse. And they wanted to showcase their engines, but they needed a mower to put them in, so they contracted with John Deere to produce this model. So it's like the LX. That'd be, I think, late 80s or late 90s, early 2000s. Wasn't made that many years. All right, fuel's on. Maybe a little bit of choke. All right, what am I forgetting? See how do that, it'll never clear up. Sometimes it'll clear up if I shut the fuel off. Listen to it. What I'm gonna try is I'm gonna take the valve covers off. I want to see if the valves are adjusted, and now I probably can't because I think it has to be done cold. But I'm gonna take it out for a little bit and show you what it is like. Yesterday it cut. It doesn't run crisp. It's not a good runner, and I want to change that because I think that's a good engine. I would think. So look at that, that's not a good runner. There was times where it sounded decent, and then all of a sudden it would just go nuts. It would go bad. I don't know, I still don't know if it's carb related but I'm gonna check the timing because it's the only thing I really didn't check. And it still could be the carb, but you can't get different carbs for it. You can get some parts, and I cleaned it several times. So I'll be back when this thing gets cooler. It's actually not bad, but I'm gonna check both sides, and I'm gonna take this stuff off. So I'm gonna take all this cowling off because I want to make sure that the flywheel is by the coils when it's supposed to be firing, or where it's located. I think there might be timing marks on this too on the cover. I gotta see, but I'll be back when she cools off a little bit. All right, as I said, I got this not working, so it was missing a few parts, starter, and I didn't get the air cleaner for it, and that is a hard part to find. There's no used ones out there that I see, unless I posted in a Facebook group or something, but I have not found one yet. Yeah, there's marks here. So there's a mark on the flywheel then. On the fan. But you'd have to have the fan on right then, and I don't know if it is. Well, I ain't gonna know until I get a bit more off here. It's still warm, I'm just kind of taking it apart here while I'm waiting for it. I also sprayed carb cleaner around the gaskets here to make sure that it's not leaking at the gaskets. Yeah, here's the air cleaner I have. That's kind of my makeshift air cleaner until I find what I need. It'd be a big one that would mount somewhere in here. Well, the hose goes from here to the air cleaner, I think. I don't have any of that stuff. The guy must have had taken it off, trying to figure out what was wrong with this and decided to just get rid of it. All right, I believe these are 10. I had to get a lot of this stuff. I don't even think I had this cover. I think I bought that. I think I got it cheap, but I also put some money into it because there's not many out there and I want to see it run. Because the coils were probably almost 100 a piece. When you take this off, make sure that there's gonna be spacers in here, and it might stay in the cover or it might stay on the stud. I'm gonna take these two out. Yeah. Same 10. You can go to the hardware store and just get whatever, but I was getting the parts right from Honda. Place that sold Honda parts, Honda lawn parts, or wherever the heck. Yeah, these are the little things that stay on. I'm gonna take them off because I don't want them to jump up in case I run it here with that off. I'm gonna lower you down a little bit. All right. So obviously we've got a twin cylinder. This can probably go like this. Put the nut on so it can't flop around. I put 2 new coils on it. I believe I put this on too, because the mice chewed the crap out of this thing too. Quite a nest in here. What the mice like to do. Still gotta cool some more. But I could start checking the timing through the spark plug holes. Well, it ain't gonna matter. Only the adjusting the valves is gonna matter. It should be cold, but I can check to see if they're freaking on or is something loosened up. And I have to check both of them. So let's start doing that, I think. All right, I spun it around because I'm thinking that you'll have more light here now. Yeah, definitely. That should be a better view. And I'm going to show you again how it runs when I have the fuel on and when I have the fuel off. Right now it's off. Off now. how it clears right out? I guess I could cut the lawn by putting the gas on and off, but I don't think that'd be very fun. Okay, I'm gonna pull one of these off. It'll be a little bit warm yet, but I'm not too worried about it. So again, the only things I didn't try with it is the timing and fuel. I tried fuel, squirting right into the bowl from that bowl I just sucked out of the can with new gas. So let's just see what we got going on here. If I gotta replace the gasket or whatever, I will. I just want to make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to on both of them. Okay, I'm gonna take this spark plug out so I can see where the piston actually is. I just want this thing to work good. I know it's got a small deck on it, but it's still a unique mower. I don't see any of them out there. Very few of them on YouTube, actually. See, I cleaned this spark plug off yesterday. It's not even like gooey carbon, it's just smoke-like. Okay, I was looking at the manual online of this for the GXV 610. And it's saying recommended spark plugs is NGK ZGR5A, and that is not what's in it. And what I put in is exactly what came out of it. So that's something I can check. Maybe I'll pick up the right one. And I'll do some more checking on it. Make sure that this mower recommends that too. Alright, so it's gonna turn clockwise. I can see if I can get you in here closer. Oh, that should be good, I think. Okay, so this is gonna turn, you engage the starter, it's gonna turn clockwise. Oh, I checked the compression on it too. It was 95 on this side and 100 on this side. Or 105, something like that. It's within range. I think it's 85 to 115, something like that. Okay, so let's see. Let's look what it's doing here. First, I gotta find intake. So intake should be the top one. And I know on like Briggs they use steel push rod for the exhaust and aluminum on intake. I don't know if it's to save weight or what. I don't know why you just wanted to run two steel, but I doubt Honda does that. I don't think I even have a socket big enough for that. How did I get that flywheel off? I must have used a socket from somewhere. Maybe borrowed one, I don't know. Okay, so it's gonna spin this way. Let's watch the valves here. This should be intake, and if you know what way it spins, you'll be able to see which one's which, because the way the engine works won't line up. So intake's done. That was decompression. It should be on compression now. Now it's gonna go power. It's going in. Now exhaust is gonna engage. Okay, intake. So it should be going down. Now is the one we want. So when this goes to top dead center, we should be firing. Yeah, it's got a decompression right before on the compression stroke. So when this dowel stops moving, so about right here is where it should be going, which is where that is. about. I'll get a timing mark here on the cover. On the cover we have a T here and an F here. This would be like right here. I would think that it would be, it'll stay here, probably not. I think it should be in the ballpark, I would think. Yeah. Oh, let's see what we got here. I don't think that was supposed to occur. What do we got going on here? Why did that fall? Is it only held on by the cover? The pin, I mean? Why is this out of place now? Let's check it while we're at it. Yeah, I can go way in if you don't get it in the right spot. Oh, I gotta keep that in there. They really don't have anything holding that except for the cover. Doesn't really look that bad, does it? I ain't gonna know until I check it, but of course it's gonna check out perfect because it doesn't want me to find the problem. Okay, on Honda 4118 actual service manual online, it shows new plug should be NGK BPR 5ES. Wow, in the specs of this, it shows NGK spark plug W16 EPRU. Like, how can you be so wishy-washy? You have like 3 different NGK plugs between this part of the manual and upper part in the spark plug area or maintenance area, and then on the GVX 610 is a different one as well. How confusing. All right, let's talk a little bit about finding top dead center compression. Here's an easy way to do it. If you don't want to take everything off, you can do it with just the spark plug out. If you put your finger on the hole, spark plug hole, you're going to have one stroke that pushes on your finger, and that's it. One's going to suck it on, or suck it in, try to, and one's going to push on it. The one that pushes on it is the one that you need. So I'm going to turn it here. My thumb is on the hole. So right now it is sucking on it, which means it's on the power stroke, going down. And now we have exhaust. So it should be coming up, but it has no pushing on my finger because there's a hole in it because the exhaust valve's open. Oh, I also put a magnet here to hold this on each side. Just a magnet holding that thing in. The next one's not going to have pressure either because the intake valve's opening. Right, so it should be going down. And once it's done going down, it should be coming up. Now it's pushing on my finger really hard. And that was where my timing mark is. So if I go back a little bit, do the intake valve opening, I got nothing. There's a little decompression, push. And right there, it's pushing really hard. You could hear it. So right about here is top dead center compression. We can confirm that by this. So right here's our timing mark. Right there. And I don't know exactly where these fire, if it's like just past it. I would think it would be just past it. You know, there could be variances in them. Okay, so there's other videos like, let's say that all you have to do is, if one's being pushed on, then the other one's got to play, right? Right now the exhaust is being pushed, right? So there should be play here. Now let's see with that concept. Okay, so the intake is pushing, right? So therefore, this one should be good. You should be able to adjust it, right? No, there's pressure on it. There is pressure, still pressure on it, even though this is being pushed on. Now it's loose. So I think that's why they want you to have it on compression top dead center, because that is where you need it to be your adjustment made, and you ain't gonna have little variances in how the lobes are machined. I'll go back to my spot here. Here's compression. Now it's sucking. So you're gonna have a push, a suck, and then a exhaust open, intake open. Should be going down. And now it's going to be coming up after that's done there. And there's the push. So top dead is right about there. So about the middle of the coil. Alright guys, I wrote down what the specs are in the 4118 manual. It's 0.13 to 0.17 millimeter in the intake. That equals 0.00591. So 5. I'm gonna go with 6,000ths. And then exhaust 0.18 to 0.22. So 0.20 millimeters is 0.00787. So I'll go with 8. So 6,000ths and 8,000ths is what I'm gonna go with. And that's right in the middle of the range, so if that decimal point gets rounded one way, which I'm making the gap a little bit bigger, and not by much. So 3,000ths of an inch is about thickness of your hair. 5,000ths pubic hair. So it's not much. So I'm gonna go ahead and adjust these, because they're a little bit off, but I don't think that's actually gonna be the problem. I really don't. I wish it was, but it's probably going to run the same exact way after I do this, but at least then I know that this is done. I'm going to have to try and get the oil cleaned up before I put the cover on. Okay, so do I have this one on top dead center? It should be. Alright, exhaust is 8. That's actually not bad. And intake is 6. That's not bad. So I don't think I'm gonna even adjust that one. So let's try this one. See how this one is. I'll go to top dead center. So the only one that's off on this side is the exhaust. The 6,000ths I can get in. It's got a little bit of a drag. And that's the intake. Exhaust is 8. That one I can't get in. So that one I'm going to adjust a little bit. But as I said, I don't think that's going to make that big of a difference. But we'll see how. Alright, I'll loosen this up and then move it a little bit out a little bit and then tighten it back up. I got about 8 on this. That could be a hair tighter. I'll tighten it up a little bit. The 6 is still good. That's pretty good. It's got a drag. Got a slight drag on it. I'm going to seal this guy up. Try and get some of the oil out of it here. I'm gonna hope that the gasket seals by itself, and then seal up the other side. All right, now that I have that done, I fill the spark plugs back in, and that would be if I could find the wrench. And then I'll try it, and I'll see that it's running the same as it was. That little bit, I don't think is going to make much of a difference. Although it was tight, but I don't know, we'll see. The next thing I'm going to try after that is the muffler. See if it has an optional spark arrestor. If I have to, I'll just try it without a muffler completely and see what it does. It'll be loud, but I'll know if it's making a difference. Those things like to loosen up. Dirty bees, huh? And we'll do this guy. Alright, let's go take that cover off here. How close is that thing for timing wise anyway? It's showing, yeah, pretty much the middle of the coil looks like. To where it should be hitting. Sparking. Okay, let's try this out. I'm gonna say it's gonna run the same. Wow, what do you know? That don't surprise me in the least. All right, let's try the muffler before it gets too hot. Let's see if that's going to be the culprit. I'm going to say that probably don't even have a spark arrestor. Bite though, it comes out the side. All right, I'm going to pull these out. And these, get this off, and then I can see what I got to do here. Alright guys, let's take a look. If you look down here, what do you see? That's looking at the bottom. I see a big puddle of oil. There shouldn't be that much oil in there. So that means that, are the rings sticking? Are they broke? Let's check the other side ones. Alright guys, this side, the left side here has it too. The bottom of the piston's that puddle of oil. See that? So I wonder if the rings are bad. A, sticking. I'll say sticking, or are they broken? Wasn't that much oil in. Because that would explain a lot of that. If you get that much oil in the combustion chamber, that's what's going on the spark plugs. and smoking and running like crap, because you're not going to get a good combustion, good cycle. I think what I'm going to do is I wonder if running it would help, running it more would help seat the rings. I'm going to try that. Get it warmed up really good. See what happens. It looks a little dark. The compression should really tell us that it's not really too bad, but I wonder, let me check this once. The oil level's a little high. And what that can do is all kinds of things, none of them good. Some people will put more oil in it thinking it's better, but it's not, because the engine ain't made to run that way. You can get hydrolocking. If the level's too high, it could be pushing that up the rings. Look where it is. It's right here. It's double the height it should be. I know I didn't change it or do anything to it, so I'm gonna drain some out and get it where it's supposed to be. And maybe that'll help with the oil on the rings. And then I'd like to run this a little bit and see if I can get it to clear up. So I'll do that here with this. I just gotta get something to catch it. Alright, I know it's a little dark here, but might as well just do an oil change on it, but I want to make sure this engine's going to be good before I go too nuts on it. Still got quite a bit in it. Alright, let me get that where it's supposed to be. Alright, now the oil level's right here. I'm going to leave out just a hair yet. You know, if you got too much oil in there, especially in this, like a push mower, small engine like that, where it only holds like a quart, you can't compress liquid, so it's gonna go everywhere it's not supposed to, and work its way past the rings, right? I really hope that this is gonna make a difference. I had a push mower that was smoking like some bee. Actually, it was a Husqvarna string trimmer with the wheels, and the oil level was too high, and all I did was drop it and cleared right up. Alright, check it one more time here. That's right here on the top line. Well, that's right where we want it. So I'll tighten that plug up. It's actually a nice system here as far as draining it. It's actually quite a bit of oil. Probably half a quart or so. When the thing only holds 2 quarts, that's quite a bit. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this cowling on, because I wouldn't want to run it like this very long, because you don't have the cooling. This provides the cooling here. So I will be back when I get that done. I'll get the spark plugs back in and everything. Alright guys, here goes. I'll turn the screen on here yet, so I don't get a bunch of grass in there. There you go. I remember dealing with a crappy filter yet, but just a greased rag. Hose clamped around, but okay, throw some fuel on. I want to see if I can get it warmed up and see if it'll clear up here. Well, there decided to just give up altogether. Didn't it? Alright guys, so what is it? What is the problem with it? I don't know. That's why I gave up in the first place on it, because I don't know what it is. I wish I did. The jet that you can't do on here is right in here. Normally it's got a thing you only go like this far with it. But I broke it, so I took the Dremel and made a slot on it so I can adjust it actually, but I don't really know what it needs. It almost seems like it's the timing, doesn't it? When it cools off a little bit, I'm gonna run the sculpt on the hole again and see if there's a puddle of oil. It's definitely lubricating the cylinder walls. That is not it. checked out. I mean, it's possible it's carburation yet, but I don't know. I got it warm. That's good, right? See, this thing goes in and out too. I suppose it. Maybe it's from this. I wonder if I took that off, if that would affect how it runs. That's just a breather for the crank. Because if you see this thing, it's going in and out. And you'd think it wouldn't go out on a 4-stroke. Let's see it once. See it? Why does it pulse in and out? I wouldn't think a 4-stroke would do that unless the timing is off. One wouldn't think. Is that moisture? Yeah. Moisture coming up here. Must be burning it off. Probably hasn't warmed up in a long time. But one thing that's going on is this line's coming off here. It's gonna make me a mess if I don't fix it. Is this filter on the right way? Yeah, it flows that way. It's also got fuel in it. See how much of a pain in the butt it is? Usually this stuff you can kind of pinpoint something and you check all the stuff and all of a sudden you find something that, oh hey, that's probably what it is. Not on this mower. This mower is a pain in the butt. That's why I don't run it. Because I don't know what it is. You guys need to help me figure out what it is. No, I don't even want to start at all. What the hell? Yeah, no, it won't start at all. What in the name of ass? I don't know, guys. I'll come back when it's cooled off a little bit and I'll pull the plugs out and look in there again. Alright guys, tell me what you think about this thing. 4118, what's wrong with it? But all I can think of is timing or broken rings or something. And by timing I mean in the engine, that the cam isn't lined up with the crank right. Maybe a tooth off or something. I'm not sure. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.